Colin. I am CoachColin.com. This is episode 423. Joe Rogan, Ice Cube. Ice Cube, right before, like as soon as I hit play, what they were talking about beforehand was how the NWA, they were the first group to get the parental advisory sticker on their album. There's no CDs back then, on their album. And that actually pushed kids to want to get those albums. And from then on, record companies knew to put that advisory sticker on every album because they knew it would boost sales. How crazy is that? I didn't know. They were the first ones to ever have that done. But after that, they start talking about something that I've touched on when it comes to mass formation, and that is how important it is to stand up in the face of adversity or in the face of censorship. And I really like that Ice Cube gives time to that type of talk, because he could easily just keep talking about the accolades and the memories and the cool stuff, but he actually decides to touch on that. They touch on a whole conversation about the 2020 procedure that he decided to push away. He decided not to do it. And some of it is so raw, because it's Ice Cube, that I have to actually skip over it. So I got two clips for you. We're going to start the first one. It's going to be at 43 minutes, 20 seconds. It's going to go to 46 minutes, 48 seconds. Then I got to go to 59 minutes, 0 seconds. And then that clip ends at 1 hour, 2 minutes, 45 seconds. But it's all in the same vein of standing up to authority. Because if we don't, who will? You know? You can't have the mentality to think that someone else will always do it, because eventually you become the someone else. And you realize that you always were the someone else who was meant to do it. Just check out the store real quick. This is IamCoachColin.com. That site again is IamCoachColin.com. We got the Soul Not For Sale line. Let me just run through it quick. We got hoodies, shirts, t-shirts, women's V-necks, mugs, kid sizes, and tank tops for men and women. Discount code IamCoachColin, all one word, all capital letters, one L in the Colin, and that will get you 10% off. And if you've bought anything from the store, I thank you so much. You are much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get into the clip. Am I there already? Yep, let's do it.
It promotes it.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It promoted it.
Two Live Crew was the first band that got arrested, though, right? Weren't they the first band that got arrested?
On stage, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You know, rap got a long history. You know, I don't know if somebody, tackled, Kool Herc or somebody one day.
Right.
But that's the one that went, nationwide news. And yeah, he got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke fought for all of our freedom of speech, to be honest. If they would have took Luke down and the Two Live Crew at the time and said that this music is too obscene and you can't sell stuff like this, everything would probably be so, sterile right now,
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, that's the same thing with Howard Stern and radio.
Yes.
They went after Howard. They fined them insane amounts of money for the Howard Stern show.
Yes, I remember.
And if he just folded and gave into that, there'd probably be no podcasts, or it would have taken a lot longer for people to figure this out.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible when you stand up at the moment of truth,
Yeah.
Like, it's important for us to stand up at the time that is going on and not back down and then try to regroup and then go at it. It's really important.
It is
for people to stand up for themselves.
But it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard today more than ever because you get so much pressure. People, especially during COVID, people ganged up on people. People were doing the man's work for the man. It's like, who the fuck are you trusting? Why are you trusting these people that have been lying forever?
Yeah, man, it was wild during that time. Like, it you know, people being bullied into doing things that they didn't want to do. A lot of them didn't want to do it. They did it because of their work or their
Yeah.
their
And a lot
situations. Or a lot of them are hurting right now.
Yeah.
I know a guy that's been dealing with tinnitus since he got it, and so
I know a lot of
it's
people
just,
that got
yeah,
fucked up. I know quite a few people that got fucked up. Some of them pretty bad. It's just, it was just, if you wanted to do it in a textbook way, like if it was a conspiracy, that's how I would do it. I'd isolate people, make them stay at home, take away their livelihood, make them scared, give them small checks, and then give them this thing that you got to take to get back to normal. Want to get back to normal?
Yeah.
Go take that. Don't worry, it's safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. And then you have all this pressure, and everyone is yelling at you if you don't do it. If you don't do it, we're not going to get back to normal. And everybody got scared, and everybody just stepped in line. And it was strange. It's strange.
Yeah, it was. Stepping in line sometimes is not the way to go.
No, it's not always the way to go.
It's you're trying to prevent and try to make things all smooth and easy and no issues and back to normal and all that. And the world might be back to normal, but are you normal?
Oh, man. I like that line a lot. Man, that's something to think about. It's like the world went back to normal, quote unquote. But how are you? Like, are you normal now? Whew. And honestly, I'm just skipping to the next clip. But honestly, yeah, I know some people that they suffered. And it sucks. But I know people like that my whole life, man. I've always gone a different path, and I don't know. I've never gone along with how you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to do high school, and I was like, nah, I'd rather work and do other stuff. You're supposed to just work a 9 to 5, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna start businesses, and it sucks. It sucks, man. I know some people that did it just to travel, and then they didn't travel. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. Yeah, I know some people that have gone through some things. They're still going through it. One of my best friends. It sucks. Because it's like, it's not him. Well, I mean, he's going through it. He is. But now I'm going through it. And if, God forbid, something happened, then, because he's like family to me, my family is going to go through it. Just sucks, man. But let's get into this next clip where they continue to talk about this. I had to skip over what they went into, but I'm telling you, from 46 minutes, 48 seconds to 59 minutes, they get into some deep stuff. I'm probably going to do a Twitter show on that one because I can't talk about it on this channel, but I'm telling you, go and check that podcast out. It's serious. It's serious. They talk about some serious stuff. Ice Cube does not just sit around and just talk nonsense. He's awake. He's awake. He's not woke, but he's awake.
That we got this wrong.
Yeah, and nobody wants to talk about it. That's the crazy thing, because all the news
nobody
stories,
can.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. The gatekeepers. Nobody can.
Just to tell you, they're just talking about the whole pandemic and everything surrounding that. How nobody's allowed to talk about, what I was just touching on. People not doing the best afterwards and things of that nature. Sorry.
Can talk about it because somebody above them told them no. From this outlet, that outlet. The NBA, going back to that, I'm just kind of putting it in perspective, but the guys in the NBA used to talk about the big three. If you go back to year one, all the time. And then they just stop. And then I asked my guy, what happened, man? Why y'all stop they told us we couldn't mention the big three anymore on air. So I'm like, that's chicken shit. You know, that's that bullshit that I'm talking about. That, you know, I'm talking about what happened to me, but it obviously happens everywhere to all of us.
Now, I'm sorry to do you guys like Jimmy Dore right now, but what he's talking about is he has a basketball league. It's a big three. He's wearing it on his shirt because he decided to forego the procedure, walk away from some movie deals and some other opportunities in Hollywood because he didn't want to do any kind of procedure. He then got the same type of treatment that Joe Rogan got. They wrote stories about him. They labeled him as, you know, everyone gets labeled conspiracy, this, that, you know, crazy, all of this stuff. And then the NBA and the announcers who used to talk about the big three all the time, all of a sudden got message from, you know, they above, and then they stopped talking about him and they kind of tried to like push him out. So now he's like, you know, as everybody who was on that side of things, you become an outsider and, you know, they try and make life a little harder for you. So that's what he's talking about there, just to give you some background.
You know what I mean? And we gotta somehow, some way, get these people out of our way, or not support what they're doing and producing. You know, some of these mainstream outlets are really just an extension of these corporate conglomerates who want to, you know, kind of control our emotions, control our movement, control our spinning, control our personalities, control our mind. And, you know, what we going to do about it, like, at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to just sit here and let it happen day after day till we're steamrolled and wore out and have no fight in us? Or are we going to stand up where we can, you know what I mean, and push back when we can? I know everybody can't in all situations, and don't feel bad when you can't. But when you can and you know you can, do it.
Yes.
Do it. Like, when you have the leverage, take it.
Yeah.
You know? Take it. Like UFC, when you got the leverage, you got to go.
Yeah.
Use that to your advantage. You might not always have the leverage. You might not always have, you know, the right timing. But when you do, when you can, we gotta buck back. You know. If not, we're just gonna continue to get steamrolled and not be heard and canceled and all this kind of stupid stuff.
Yeah, we're just repeating patterns that have played out throughout history.
Yes.
When people get power, they want to have ultimate power. They want more power. Any obstructions they see to their goals, any things that people were doing that would get in the way, they want to silence that, stop that. They want to bust unions. They want to do whatever the fuck they can to consolidate their power.
Yeah, and it's at a certain point, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
it was not good for
these
us.
are some of the most unhappy people in the world who is just concerned with more and more power, and they're powerful. You know, when have you saw a guy who was...
Man, so I just wanted to show those two clips there, and I love that, you know, for the longest time, Ice Cube, he was like this gangster rapper, the epitome of gangster rap. Almost, you can consider him almost like the creator with the NWA. And then from there, a lot of gangster rap, West Coast Connection, all sorts of stuff. And then all of a sudden he started doing the kids movies. And a lot of us who were in the hip hop community, we were so disappointed because he was like doing these kids movies. But now that I'm older, I know he was just amassing FU money. He was amassing enough money to where when something like this happens and they say, hey, do this procedure, he can say, no, I don't want to. I get to question things. I want to look into this. I want to look into that. and he could just walk away from it. So I love the fact that now that he has that FU money, he is taking the opportunity to speak the way you would think someone who was a part of NWA would speak. You know? He's not, like, he's trying to watch his words, again, because right now he is a spokesperson for this league that he's trying to promote. He's a spokesperson for it. So you can see as he's talking, he's not just going all out and just saying everything. He's like being very subtle about it, being very tactful about it, being very almost polite about it, you know? And as much as I want to say, man, I wish he could just do this and that, I understand completely. I just said FU money. That's not how I talk. Believe me. When I'm with my friends, I don't go, oh man, you know that I said F that guy. I don't say that. That's not me. But yeah, very interesting how it happened to him. And a quick synopsis of that is after he walked away from the procedure and said no, all of the he's just talking about how all the producers, and I went through this as well, all the producers decided that on their set, everybody has to have it. And that was crazy because it just didn't make any sense how every producer could have that mentality when in reality it was the studios. The studios were like, this is what's going to happen. And the producers want to keep their jobs. So the directors get told something and the directors want to keep their jobs and they tell everybody to do it. And everybody wanted to keep their job. So a lot of people did it. I was not one of those people. I was working in the industry and I was not one of those people, and I could see the writing on the wall. So I was like, I got to move away from this and do something else. So I didn't move on to anything bigger and brighter. I mean, this is nice. I like doing this, but I just started delivering food. I was like, Uber Eats, DoorDash, no problem. I'll make it. I'll be okay. Luckily, I have an incredible woman who supports my decisions and made the same type of decision. We didn't even have to fight about it. It was great. But yeah, again, amazing episode with Ice Cube. If you go to the podcast and you go to like 40 minutes in, even like 35 minutes in, right until like an hour and a half, they're just talking a lot of truth. And it's a 2.5 hour podcast. I haven't even worked through it all myself. I stopped at an hour and a half so I can bring you these episodes. But I'm telling you, check it out. Check it out. Hit up Spotify. Check it out. It's a great episode. Like the video. It helps so much. You have no idea. Boosts us out of the shadow realm. You have no idea how much it helps. It's really, really, really needed and really appreciated. So if you could do that, it's right down there somewhere. I've been posting little things that say like and subscribe up there. I know you can see them. And other than that, I'm out. Let me know what you think in the comments.